with the main Chip Washington. It's real talk. Man, it's real talk with your main Chip Washington. When it comes to information, the main got an arsenal. Bring you up to speed with what you need. He's a local and nationwide news feed. Let's talk about it. Dialect to do something about it. Chip got the flow wide open if you got questions about it. Man, it's the show that brings you to your raw. To solve all problems, it starts with real talk. It's 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 real talk. Yeah. Welcome to Real Talk with your host, Chip Washington. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
And here we go on a absolutely beautiful Monday evening in the city. I hope that you all adjusted your clocks accordingly. You know, it's spring forward. And yeah, we're seeing plenty of sunshine right now, and it'll probably get dark sometime around 7:15-ish. So for those of you who like that, you're in good shape. And it's a beautiful day. Temperatures in the low 70s today, so absolutely perfect. And it's 6 o'clock straight up, which means it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for an all-new live version of Real Talk Memphis. I am your humble host. My name is Chip Washington. Glad to make your acquaintance. Glad to have you along for the ride. For many people, it's vacation time. You know, it's spring break officially. Here, at least for our kids in school. The Memphis and Shelby County school folks are out, and I'm sure plenty of folks are out and about across the country as well. I don't know about all of you, whoever's in town. The traffic seemed a bit light coming down here this evening, so I'm assuming that many of you are probably off and hanging with the kids or going somewhere else and enjoying some time. But the good thing for you is that you can hear this radio show anywhere you are. And speaking of that, how do you find this great piece of radio broadcasting? Well, we're on live right now, 91.7 on your FM dial. That would be WYXR. You can also find us on the WYXR app. We are live streaming this evening, so you can watch on the Facebook Live. We'll be doing that this evening. And when the show posts in another day or so, you can find us on YouTube. And, of course, we are a podcast, so you will be able to catch us wherever it is you get your podcast. So, yeah, plenty of opportunities for you out there to check us out, no doubt. And we hope that you can hang with us for the next hour. We have a pretty good show on tap. So you're asking, who's on the show, Chip? Since you guys don't look at the social media, you know, where I do all these postings and everything, I will tell you, we will be talking with Charlie Caswell in just a few minutes, County Commissioner Charlie Caswell. A lot going on in the County Commission, man. They're talking about changing the charters, and there's an audit that they want to take place with the Memphis and Shelby County schools. Budget season coming up, so there's a lot to talk about. Also, with him, we should be having Britney Thornton should be joining us along with Charlie to talk about some of the issues that I wanted to discuss. And let me see here. A little bit later on, we are going to talk with Carol Jackson. And Carol has been on the show before. She's not been on in a while. She is the executive director of Families Matter. And, of course, families do matter, and she is working hard to make sure that folks stay together, work together, for the sake of the children and keeping the families together. So that's always a good thing. So I look forward to speaking with her again. And a little bit later on, the new president and CEO of Bridges USA. Many of you have heard of Bridges. Sam O'Brien III joins me a little bit later on to talk about his move to Bridges and his agenda moving forward. That is an extraordinarily great organization in reference to young people and the future leaders of America, I'd like to say. So I look forward to talking with Sam a little bit later on in reference to that. So there you go. Let me see here. I'm typing the emails as I'm trying to typing text while I'm trying to talk to you. But anyway, that is the lineup. That is the rundown of this evening. Of course, we hope that you, however you check us out, whether it's by radio, whether it's by Facebook Live, or whoever. We just appreciate you checking us out. As we move along, this particular segment is important to a lot of people because that means that if you're listening or you know a person who has made another trip around the sun, a.k.a. the birthday, this is the part of the show where we acknowledge you, where we shout you out, where we let everybody know it's celebration time, ladies and gentlemen. But I can't do that unless I say, hit it, Brent. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday going out to the following folks. Happy birthday to Rachel Johnson on this day. Kayla Sanders celebrating her birthday. Kevin Oler, happy birthday to you, sir. Jennifer Vivar, happy birthday. Valerie Barrett, it is her birthday today. Happy birthday to Mr. John Sherwood. To Tanya Keys, celebrating today. As is Nikita Jones and Regina Anderson. And here comes Lola.
Happy birthday to my mom. Her birthday is on Thursday. Happy 80th.
80 years young. Lola's mom. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Lola's mom. And hey, for the rest of you, happy birthday for you as well. Listen, I hope that this day has been filled with love and laughter. And I hope that all of us here at Real Talk Memphis will be around next year for your next trip around the sun. Thank you, Bryn. All right, a few news and notes here. Of course, Lola did a bit of a tribute to Roy Ayers on her show earlier this evening. And, of course, a major music icon in his own right. She told me that one of his most popular songs has been sampled over 180 times. That lets you know how big a deal he was in the music game. So rest in love, Roy Ayers. So let me see here. News and notes. First things first. We've been talking about the school board potentially taking over by the state. Right, the state takeover of the Memphis and Shelby County schools. Well, we hear that legislation is about ready. Representative Mark White has run it by the the governor of the state of Tennessee, Bill Lee, and the local legislative leadership, and says everybody is good to go. I don't know if it was laid out today or not, put on the floor yet, but I think it will be sometime this week. So, again, we're talking about a 9-member appointed board that will oversee governance of the current existing elected 9-member board to make decisions as things move forward. So that's going to be very interesting in as well. That's what I want to talk to Charlie about too, about how they feel about the county commission feels about this state takeover. Let me see here. So that's something to pay attention to. And with what happened with Dr. Marie Fagans and that whole mess, now we're inches away from being taken over by the state. Now, Representative White says, well, look, we're going to have people, a 9-member board, a management board is what he calls it. They're going to manage the day-to-day. So, again, I don't know what the other 9 are going to do, the elected folks. I have no clue as to what they're going to do. But this 9-member board is going to be in charge of all of this. So we shall, again, see how all of this shakes out. He said that they're going to be picking people from Memphis and Shelby County. Well, I mean, maybe that makes some of you feel good, but I'm a little confused about the fact that that even though they're going to pick the people from Memphis and Shelby County, that these people are going to be reporting to folks at the State House. So again, we'll see what happens. Many of you probably heard about what happened with Matter And apparently a high-ranking executive was placed on leave after the agency discovered that hundreds of thousands of dollars were misspent in reference to all of this. The name Bakar Maldon, who was at one time the executive in charge, the CEO, might be the individual on leave and responsible for all of this. Now, again, innocent until proven guilty. She apparently she's on leave. And apparently suspended. The person who spent all this money unauthorized is suspended until all of the facts are laid out and straight. So again, we're innocent until proven guilty. That person is on leave right now with pay until the conclusion of the investigation. Some $600,000 was misspent. Grizzly Suites and spa days and Best Buy and what's the place where you go to I can't think of the name of the place. The place where you go, when you want to order stuff, you order it online, and then they send it to you and all that kind of stuff. Amazon, that's it. So that was one of the charges as well. So yeah, there's a lot going on here with that. So we will keep a very close eye on it, watch it and see what happens. And more importantly, how things shape up moving forward. There is TransPro is a company that is taking over operations right now. But we will see how all of this lays out. But this is a pretty nasty looking picture. And again, it does destroy the confidence of people in the community who so desperately rely on bus transportation to get them any and everywhere they want to go. So again, kind of a bad situation, but we'll keep a watch on it. And before I let you go, congratulations to the Memphis Tigers. They are conference champions. Go ahead, raise the roof, Lola. They are conference champions, ladies and gentlemen, and are preparing for the NCAA tournament. They'll be making their picks coming up this Sunday. So go Tigers, go. How about that? Good job. So anyway, we're going to take a break. When we come back, how about we kick this thing off? You feel like you're ready? You ready to go? Ready to go? Beautiful evening this evening. If you want to take your form of entertainment, be it your cell phone or your iPad or whatever, and go outside, sit on the patio, and check us out tonight, I would surely appreciate it. This is Real Talk Memphis. I am Chip. You know who you are. Let's take our first break. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Support for WYXR comes from AEG Presents Kraftwerk Multimedia Tour 2025, 50 Years of Audubon, coming to Overton Park Shell on March 25th. Tickets and more information at kraftwerk.com.
Memphis Listening Lab proudly supports WYXR. They provide a curated collection of music and music history, a forum for music-related talks and performances, and a music education, appreciation, and experimentation space located in Crosstown Concourse. You can find out more information on their Instagram page at Memphis Listening Lab or on their website at memphislisteninglab.org.
Mempho presents Shell Days Music Festival, returning to the Overton Park Shell on Saturday, April 19th, featuring music from Lettuce, Daniel Donato's Cosmic Country, Grace Bowers, and more. Tickets and more information can be found at memphopresents.com.
Support for WYXR comes from Halloran Center Presents, featuring the Memphis Songwriters Series hosted by Mark Eggers Stewart. Mark and his musical guests take audiences on a journey behind the music, sharing personal stories and introducing new works. The series continues Thursday, March 13th with Nubia Yassin, Jimmy Davis, and Michael Cusack. More information at orpheum-memphis.com.
Support for WYXR, including our stereo sessions, comes from Duncan Williams Asset Management, specializing in financial management for individual investors, businesses, nonprofits, and foundations. More information at dwassetmgmt.com.
Support for WYXR comes from Campfire Collective, a Memphis-based agency that empowers their clients through community-focused marketing and loves all things Memphis. More information on how Campfire Collective can feed the flames of your organization's marketing at buildacampfire.com.
Support for WYXR comes from West Tennessee Best Buddies, presenting the Memphis Friendship Walk on Saturday, April 5th at the University of Memphis. This free, all-ages community event celebrates Best Buddies programs across West Tennessee with food, games, and opportunities to connect with nonprofits serving people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. More information and registration at bestbuddiesfriendshipwalk.com/Memphis.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to the big broadcast on this beautiful, beautiful Monday evening in the city. Chip with you. Glad to have you out there wherever it is you might be. Okay, so, we have seen more of our share of difficult issues moving in and around and through our city here recently. And, of course, we have two bodies of government here that we depend on. Of course, one is the Memphis City Council and the other is the Shelby County Board of Commissioners. And I am very happy to have with me tonight an old friend. He's been on this show several times in the past and stays busy, a community activist. He's a pastor. He's a doctor, doctor of, and a lot of other things. But more importantly, he is Mr. Charlie Caswell. And Charlie, it's great to see you, my friend. How you doing? Charlie? Charlie, can you hear me? I don't know what happened. His audio.
Okay.
Charlie,
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
After 2 years of the pandemic, I should have figured this out. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's great to have you on the show. No worries whatsoever at all. So listen, Charlie, I know this is the busy time for you all getting ready for budget season, but I want to ask you about a few things that are top of mind, and something that happened last week in commission and committee meeting that was a pretty big deal in terms of what you all want to do in the future. But let me back up a little bit and ask you, since all of the disruption and all of the madness in reference to the firing of Dr. Marie Fagans. I do know that the board of commissioners was not happy, as was not a lot of people very happy in all of this. And of course, I wanted to get your take individually on all of that whole issue, as it were, and how everything happened. And clearly, the school board did not respond to the will of the people, who I thought made it very clear about how they felt about all of this. But I wanted to get from you how you felt about all of it.
Yeah, I think it's on. I just say this real quick. I know I'm hearing a little back. I don't know if this on your end, it kind of sounds like it's double, but
okay. I'm good here, but go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So again, I just say this about that, and I made it clear even in my words on the commission, is that it's unfortunate. And because I thought that Dr. Marie Fagan was on the pathway of making the changes that was needed and that many of the community was calling out for. And I just think that I didn't like the way that the process myself personally played itself out. And I made that publicly. I would have liked to seen, even when they called the meeting in December, that giving her the chance to really answer whatever complaints that they had. And even from what I said, what I heard, I think that it could have been some policies and other procedure changes that could have been put in place without the firing taking place to correct that path going forward. But that's where I stand. Again, I'm not sitting on that body. I don't know all of the details. I'd say those details will come out. And so I can't just totally say why they were thinking the way that they did. But yes, we heard the cry of the community. And at our level, one of the things that we talked about is putting in place an audit to address the concerns of the community of that body work and the concerns that the community have about why they felt maybe that firing was not justified, what was being hidden, that we need to look into. And that's what we have capacity to do as one of the funding bodies of the Memphis City School.
Yeah, and one of the things, and I'll get to the proposed takeover by the state in a minute, but one of the things that you all did as a body last week, correct me if I'm wrong, there was conversation about putting on a referendum on the ballot for people to vote on in reference to term limits for school board members and the possibility of being able to recall them. First of all, am I right about that? And how did you all come to that conclusion?
So where we came on that particular vote was that that's something that had to be done at the state level.
Right.
And what we've seen is that if the state in the pathway that it looked like going forward, because you seem to have bipartisan support to put that at a state level vote and pass, that we as a county just making sure that we are in line and ready if that law do pass, in which it looked like it may at the state level, to have that process in place. There's no sense of waiting to do it after the fact when we already see the ball is rolling in that direction at the state level. We couldn't do it at the local level. This had to be done at the state, but the state is moving forward with bipartisan support, both locally, representatives. I think G.A. Holloway put forth that bill along with some other Republicans. So it looked like it's going to pass.
Yeah.
And so we just wanted to make sure that our charter then lines up with what the state is putting in place.
That's a big deal. It's never happened before, and because of what happened with Dr. Fagans, now all of these steps are being put in place to be able to do that. And again, that's a big move, because after the decision was made by the existing board to remove Dr. Fagans, many people were crying for recall. I said that was the threat. That was what they wanted to do. That's what they wanted to have. So that's I thought that was a very big step in the process of all of this as you all are moving forward. I see that your colleague is trying to log in. She'll be on in just a second, but again, I wanted to ask, and I want when she comes on, I'll ask her the same thing if she hears me. Here's the question: the state now has decided that they want to move forward, and there she is. Hello, Britney Thornton. I hope she can hear me. Britney, can you hear me?
Yes, hello. Shout out to Caswell.
How you doing?
Good. How y'all doing?
We're doing great. So listen, I was talking with Charlie about some of the things that are happening legislatively with your body, and we're talking about the Memphis and Shelby County schools now, and you all are sort of proactively looking at putting on the ballot an initiative for term limits for school board members and for the possibility of recall. And as Charlie explained a second ago, that has to be a state move. But they are starting to work in that direction. Do you feel like that is something that needs to happen in reference to what happened back in December?
Well, I told everybody, my colleague knows that I'm definitely pro-Fagans in this particular fight. So for me, I'm just supportive of the added actions that need to come, because what was my experience was that a coup happened and we just kicked out our superintendent after 18 months of search. So I'm not pleased with everything and how it panned out. I've only known the citizens of Shelby County to be my boss. And so as an elected, this force that was able to garner 6 votes, I just think it needs to be checked. So I do believe in, increased oversight for the school board, whether that looks like term limits, whether it looks like us getting on the same election cycle to be able to ensure that we're having higher turnout races. We had some people get elected to the school board with just 1,500 votes. So we definitely need to look to see how we can better govern the school board, my personal opinion, and I'm all in terms of bringing legislation from the state to enact in Shelby County.
I want to ask you both this question. Obviously, Representative Mark White has made it his mission to add the state in involvement in this, in reference to basically a state takeover, where they would appoint a 9-member quote unquote management board to oversee the day-to-day functions of the current school board. Not elected, but appointed, and he said there'll be Shelby Countyans and Memphians that will be appointed, and they will have governance over the 9 elected officials. And I want from each of you to first of all tell me if you think a state takeover is indeed necessary, and what do you think of how they propose to do it? Brittany, you go first.
I mean, I hear people talk about the state takeover. I hear people talk about state intervention. Things that I'm reading, the managerial board will be in place for a couple of years, so it feels more like an intervention. I don't personally like the managerial board option. I just think it just makes the existing board kind of mute. And from my observation of other states when they enacted this, you had elected school board members who just stopped coming to work because they didn't have any power. So I think it creates a complicated fabric. I'm more for being able to clean slate the board and put it back to the constituents to reappoint their next leader. So when I've heard legislation that's pending at the state level that's talking about 2026 elections for the entire school board, I'm in support of that. Managerial board doesn't really seem as much of an exciting option for me personally.
Charlie, what do you think about all of this?
Well, and I say this, and I appreciate my colleague. And again, I appreciate my colleague view on this. I just say this is that as a parent who had students in the Achievement School District, when the state called itself taking over our failing schools at that time, they felt us worse by coming in with the assignment that they had. So I totally don't agree with state coming in, intervening in any way. I do agree that, yes, giving the people the power, whether they do it through a recall, if that's what they want to do, and giving people the power here locally to put people in office that they believe. And when you say it's unprecedented about this recall or the term limit with the school board, remember, Chip, that Shelby County commissioners are term limit. City council people are term limit.
Right.
So again, why was that made? It was made because it gives fresh thoughts and people to come to the table to help lead this city and county forward.
Thank you for coming
I
out.
do not support the state coming in and intervening. I believe locally we have capacity to do it. Sadly, what happened a couple of months ago, a month or so ago with Dr. Fagan was not seen in the best light for our city or county, but I believe we have the expertise in the people in this community to do that. And I end just by saying, we saw what the state tried to do by silencing the voice of Justin Pearson, somebody who was there fighting for us as a community and trying to get his voice heard. They tried to send him back, but we as a commission voted to send him back because the people of this county wanted him back. And that's where I'd say give the people the power here in Shelby County.
One last thing, we're getting into budget season, and that's always a fun time for you guys. Trying to figure out, how we move forward in legislatively as per the way things kind of what you want to see, what you all want to see moving forward. What is the biggest issue facing your body as a board this legislative session, Brittany? What are you looking at in specific in terms of moving forward in this process?
Well, if you had $1 billion, we would love to borrow it, for the same.
Okay.
County. That'll be helpful. We have multiple billion-dollar capital projects, and so we have an obligation as a commission to ensure that you have a hospital, a jail, and schools. And go figure that our hospital is not in good standing.
Right.
Our jail is literally not in good standing, and we have so many unutilized facilities and just poor facilities. And so it's our capital improvement budget. Important budget. With Regional 1, we need to talk about this tension at the state. Are they going to okay the UT partnership? Are they going to invest in it? Are they going to our investment? Are they going to do anything? So that's a big thing. We're already purchasing real estate, and so there's a big tension there. But for me, the biggest thing is the jail. The jail is literally a facility that is killing people at this point. It's creating a horrible work environment for our employees and an even worse experience for the people who are just detained. Remember, they're not there because they're convicted. They're there because they're detained. So it's a big priority for me, and that's something that on the end of my term, I'm looking to exhaust a lot of energy to be able to advocate for. Lots of issues with our facilities, but we definitely hope that we'll get everything pulled together before July 1st.
Charlie, what do things look like for you?
Yeah, and in part, I do agree with my colleague on many of those issues that she shared, but also the lowest wage employees of our county. I believe that we need to address paying our employees more. It's sad that we got individuals still working, and I understand the frustration of many of them who have to work 2 jobs because they only making $30,000 or $31,000 a year. I know you can't live off that in many of our communities, so that's very important. And as the commissioner said, many of these structure issues that we have, infrastructure issues that we have, this is decades of not investing into our infrastructure in this county. So we have a number of things at once, but I believe that we can intentionally be able to come together to address some of these issues. Sadly, a couple of years ago, when we voted, we tried, again, many people don't like the fact that we had to do wheel taxes. But I say this, many of our children do not like the fact that they got to go to schools with mold in their building or go to school with buildings that are decayed and falling in. So we got to do something about these failing schools in these communities of poverty, especially that has not been invested. And I end just saying by going to Lakeland the other day, and watching the boys play basketball there, to see how beautiful and how much invested into those infrastructures, whether it's Collierville or Lakeland, our children in the inner city of Memphis deserve those type of infrastructures as well. So it's a lot, but we got to work together to figure out how we get there.
Absolutely that. Listen, I really appreciate you guys' time. I know how busy you guys are running from here to there, doing this and that. And I always, I don't ever take it for granted that you come on this broadcast and talk to the people about what is happening. Thank you, County Commissioners Britney Thornton and Charlie Caswell. I really appreciate you both coming on, and I look forward to talking to you down the road. You guys, but thank you all for coming tonight. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
All right, Commissioner.
All right.
Bye. See you, Commissioner.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. A bird's eye view of exactly what is going on in county government by our county commissioners. Very happy to have them on the broadcast. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, let us continue on this journey on this beautiful Monday evening in the city. I'm Chip. You know who you are. Don't go away.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
Did you know you could donate your vehicle and support WYXR at the same time? We offer free pickup and it's tax deductible. Go to cars.wyxr.org to donate your car today.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
All righty, we're back after a quick break. Thank you for hanging with us if you are doing so on this beautiful Monday evening in the city. Chip with you. And, we always talk about the family unit and how important it is to the development of our young folks raising up in a particularly calm and decent environment. Well, I have someone joining me this evening who has taken that bull by the horn, and she's been on our show several times. I haven't seen her in a while, though. But always involved in our community and making it better. Please welcome to the broadcast, Carol Jackson. Carol is the executive director of Families Matter. And yes, boy, they do. And it's good to see you, my friend. How you doing?
I am wonderful, Chip. How are you?
I'm hanging in there for an old dude.
Well, hey, let's not get in the age thing.
Okay, we're not gonna do that.
Let's stay away from that.
Okay, we're gonna
stay away from that.
but it's good to see you. I did. You've been busy. You have so many wonderful programs, which really inspire folks to get together, especially males and females who have produced offspring, and the importance of them being able to co-parent or work together in order to give a child a fair opportunity to grow up in a stable environment. How are things going with Families Matter in your organization as a whole?
Things are going well, Chip. We are moving forward. I'm excited about the opportunities that we're having, and things are just going really well. I mean, it's always a challenge. It's always a challenge, but with every challenge comes an opportunity, and so we're just doing our best to make certain that we're doing things. Sorry, my doorbell's going crazy. Oh. We're just trying to make certain that we're doing things so that we can help others do what we like, what I think they want to do,
So what is the I guess the headline in terms of what you guys want to do and to help others you said what they want to do. So what is the unifying note here, if you will?
The unifying note for Families Matter is we want to strengthen families, we want to change lives, and we want to work with those families and those organizations that really do want to help transform Memphis. We want families to be better. So we want to work with those fathers and those mothers and even the children in school, helping them understand how they can be better, how they can do what needs to be done in order to be productive, successful citizens of Memphis and Shelby County.
I know you often in that effort, you spend much time with the parents, as you said, males and females, in emphasizing the importance of putting maybe personal issues aside. Especially when there is a child involved in this, because they are impressionable and they do need the support of both parents. Am I correct in that?
You are correct. You are so correct. In so many instances, so many women, we think that, I can raise a child and I can do it all by myself. And in so many instances, they can. I mean, it's been proven that mothers do a great job with raising their families. However, that child lacks something when it does not have the involvement of that father. So we are working with fathers and mothers, trying to helping them understand the value they bring to the child's life, whether they're still in relationship with each other or not.
Yeah, I think I read about you as a participating sponsor or a part of an organization with working with Agape. I think I saw, something that was either an event that just happened or something
right.
that's coming up. Tell me a little bit about that event, if you will.
Well, that event, Agape was blessed to get a grant, a fatherhood grant. And we became involved with them. In fact, I had a conversation before they even applied for the grant. David Jordan, the executive director, CEO, was kind enough to just get my opinion on some things. And so we decided that rather than going after the grant ourselves, we would partner with them and become the instructors for some of their the things that they're trying to do with the fatherhood initiative that they recently received the grant for. We have taught the 24/7 Dads class in many venues. And so that's one of the classes that they selected to work with churches on in order to just increase the knowledge of different organizations and faith-based organizations in what it means for fathers to be involved in their families' lives. So we decided to partner with them because, Chip, I truly believe that one of the reasons we have some of the things that we have going on within Memphis and Shelby County right now is because we have so many silos. And we need to come together as organizations and do so much of this work together so that we're all speaking the same language. People are hearing the same thing. So we do not have folks going for one organization for one thing, another organization for another thing. Because in order to encourage men in so many instances to participate in this type of educational experience, we have to give them something. So we want to do these things together and be able to really make an impact on Memphis and Shelby County.
I love it. I think collaboration is really builds on strength. And they obviously were smart enough to understand what you bring to all of this. And this is how we broaden the message and make the message even stronger and more relevant in our communities and society. Anything you want my listeners to know that there's coming up, in terms of your program? And of course, before you go, always give the contact information for someone who wants to know more about the fine work you do.
Well, we have a graduation for our Affirm project, which is a father's involvement really matters.
Yeah.
We just had a graduation on March 6th, and we will have another one coming up in April. We will advertise that. We want people to come and visit us as we're doing those things because they get to hear then from the participants themselves. Chip, I even invite you to come to our offices and sit in on one of the classes. We had one of the, I believe he's at the University of Memphis now, but I know he wrote for Appeal for some time. David Waters do an article.
I know him. Yeah, I know him.
Okay,
Yeah,
he did an article on Families Matter Affirm program. And he was, after he attended, he called me up and he wanted to know our schedule for that month. And I simply gave him the schedule, whether we were at Pursuit of God Church, whether we were at Mount Vernon, whether we were at the Southland Mall.
Yeah.
And he chose what he wanted to do. And then he came to a graduation. And then he interviewed individuals. And he said to me at the end of the graduation, Carol, this is God's work. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. We're a faith-based organization, Chip.
Yep.
And what we want to do is we're the hands and feet, arms of God. And we want people to understand that they can live a better life if they choose to. And we want to support them in doing that.
Well, first of all, invitation accepted. I absolutely want to come and check it out. And, you and I will stay in touch on that. And I mean what I say in reference to that. And lastly, please give our listeners information on wanting to learn more or even being part of your organization.
I would love that. First of all, they can contact me, and I give people my cell phone. It's 901-351-1124. That's Carol Jackson. They can call our number, which is 901-445-0115, or they can visit the website at www.familiesmattermemphis.org, and they can Google us and find us on all the different social media sites. I believe we're doing almost everything at this point.
Congratulations, my friend. You know, I'm very proud of you, and I'm proud to be associated with you. And, of course, we are always here if you need us. And, yeah, I do want to come over and check out your program and whatever it is that I can do as well. But thank you for taking time to come on and visit with me tonight. I really appreciate you. It's good to see you again.
Well, Chip, it's always a delight to speak with you. I am always thrilled when I get a call saying, Chip wants you on the program. I love that. So please keep it up. All right.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it.
I will get in touch with your person so that I can send you the schedule and you come and be my guest and let me just take you around to some of the sites.
We'll do it. Right? We'll do it. Thank you so much, Carol. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I appreciate you. Okay, have a great evening.
You too, sweetheart. Thank you so much. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Doing something, that's God's work. That absolutely is God's work. We're going to take another break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the future of the city of Memphis. And yet it involves young folks. This is Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. Don't go away.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Support for WYXR comes from Live Nation, presenting Lake Street Dive with special guest The Dip live at Orpheum Theater on Tuesday, September 16th. Tickets and more information at Ticketmaster.com.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to the big broadcast on this Monday evening. If you're joining us, I truly appreciate it as well. My next guest is someone who I truly know and believe to be someone who is deeply embedded in the community. He leads an organization now that is really young people centered, if I could use that phraseology. Please welcome to the show the new president and CEO of Bridges USA. He is Sam O'Brien III. And Sam, it is great to see you, my friend. How are you tonight?
Chip, I'm doing good, man. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on. And listen, congratulations. I know you've been with Bridges now for, I don't know, a few months, but I hadn't had a chance to formally congratulate you on being the new president and CEO of that very fine organization. And I must ask, what was there that attracted you to that organization, and you decided that you that thought about maybe wanted to lead it?
Yeah, sure. And thanks for the question. If I could go back to just my career, just where I started, yeah. I've always worked with organizations that have been youth-centered, or I would say adjacent to public education. And that's just from the beginning. Like my beginnings come back to when I was working in Little Rock, Arkansas, and I worked with an organization called Pulaski County Youth Services. Mm-hmm. We did a lot of similar things, just programs outside of school that were beneficial. They ended up helping children while they were in school. So this is a full circle moment. So this is a continuation of just the good work that I've always tried to do in my career.
You know, having said all that, you head one of the preeminent organizations here in our city. So I want to ask you, when you came into this, I'm sure you had some thoughts as to where the organization was before you got there, and more importantly, where you could take the organization should you be given the helm. You are now the leader. So now what does your agenda look like for Bridges USA moving forward?
Yeah, so my agenda, and I have to be mindful of Bridges is a 103-year-old organization,
right?
And they've been doing their flagship program, Bridge Builders, I want to say since 1988. So thinking about that history, thinking about that flagship program, my thinking is how can we build closer relationships with public education and students in public education to be a bit more connected. Right now, we probably serve about 3,000 students a year. Chip, quite simply, I want to increase that number. I want to get to 4,000, 5,000. I want to get to our maximum capacity simply because the work that we do, we believe that it's beneficial. The students that participate often talk about how this has become a life-changing, more inclusive experience. And we want to bring that opportunity to as many students as we can.
If you could summarize what Bridges Memphis is all about, you say you want to increase the number of students and everything else. How would, if someone asked you, okay, well, tell me about Bridges, Memphis, Bridges USA. What is the crux of the organization? What are you all trying to do with our young people? Because let me tell you something, for folks who don't know, they're in for quite the revelation. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I will start by saying that the introduction to Bridges begins in the summer, but it carries on throughout the year. And if you'd like for it to be, this can be a 6-year opportunity.
Wow.
We serve students grades 7th through 12th. And the introduction to the program, again, is during our summer conference, which also the application for summer conference closes on March 31st. So we're still looking for more participants to join us. But when you're a part of Bridges, we stick to the mission. We unite, we inspire diverse young people to become confident and courageous leaders committed to transforming Memphis and the Mid-South. Now, what does that look like? When you're participating during the summer conference as a bridge builder, you're learning about community building, you're learning about civic education and justice, you're learning about conflict resolution. But I would say most importantly, a young person is learning about themselves. They're learning about their purpose. They're learning about how they're connected to where they live, and they learn about how they can be the greatest person that can fulfill their potential to help this become the greatest region. So again, when I talk about being connected, being inclusive, and being a part of something that allows you to see just how big you are, that's what Bridges is all about.
It sounds to me, by your description of all of this, is that you are grooming young people to indeed be the next leaders of our city and our community. This co-fellowshipping with kids from different backgrounds and coming from different parts of town and bringing different experiences to it, and you start young at the 7th grade through their senior year, has got to be really extraordinarily rewarding. And you really are grooming these young people to one day be the next future leaders of the city of Memphis. Am I correct in that?
That's correct. And I would say, Chip, a couple of weeks ago, we had one of our signature events. It's our Youth Voice Summit.
Okay.
Right there in our location that is located downtown, right across the street from St. Jude. We probably had about 300 young people there in that space. The workshops were led by young people. The discussion was led by young people.
Yeah.
But the thing that brings it all together was that we had elected leaders and community leaders in that space. Just a little while ago, I saw Charlie Caswell and Britney Thornton on there the early part of the show.
Sure.
Charlie Caswell was in those conversations. We had school board members in those conversations. And these were young people who were just doing their best effort communicating to these elected officials about the things that they see and the things that they like to be a part of. So, yeah, so you're right. At our core, we are a youth leadership development organization.
You just said something that triggered another question for me. The how important that these young voices are. When you were talking about the event that you just had with the elected leaders and some of the civic organization folks and a lot of folks in positions in the city, how important is it that you instill in these young folks your voice matters, your conversation matters, and people need to hear what you are thinking in order to know what you are thinking, and we can all move forward together. But how important, Sam, is it that these young voices need to be heard?
It is highly important because, Chip, when you think about it, you got to think about who's next up, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about the next level of leaders, the next voters, the next citizens, the next taxpayers, the next set of people who are going to lead this city forward.
Yeah.
They come through Bridges. And so we have to be mindful of that. We have to nurture that. We have to groom that. But we also have to get them in a place where they are in front of the current leaders to see what it looks like when leadership is modeled. And so, again, those are things that we're big on, and we're proud to be a part of it.
Man, I tell you, I am really high on this organization and its focus, so focused on young folks. This is a very, very big deal for all of us. And before you go, you say you're still recruiting folks for the summer. If you have some information you'd like to share with our audience, or for folks who want to kind of find out more about this, please, you have the floor.
Yeah, sure. So our website is our central hub of information. So if you go to bridgesusa.org, again, bridgesusa.org, you go to their website, there's actually a tab at the top of the website that says now accepting applications.
Okay.
You click there, it'll give you all the information that's connected to what we call our summer conference opportunity. It's an opportunity that's open for 7th through 12th grade. And the way that it works, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, those students will participate in the program at our location during the summer. But 11th and 12th, that's an overnight opportunity that we're doing in partnership with the University of Memphis. So again, those older grades get a chance to have a residential component of the program, which in many ways kind of acclimates them toward, living in a dorm before they go off to college.
Yeah.
So again, you want to be a part of the program, bridgesusa.org. Click on the tab that says accepting applications, and all the information is right there in front of you. The application takes about 10 to 12 minutes to complete.
President and CEO of Bridges USA. He is Sam O'Brien III. And Sam, very proud of you and the organization. Thank you for coming on the show tonight, taking time. And I look forward to having you back on the show to talk about more of the great things that Bridges USA is doing. Thanks, man. I really appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, Chip.
Take care. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, that was a good show. Good information, a great guest, and everything else. As Bryn plays us out, thank you to all of my guests for being here tonight, and I hope that you enjoyed the show as well. If you like what we do here, go out and tell somebody, because we're just trying to inform you of everything that is happening in and around our communities that you may not be in tune with. By the way, the next show you hear will be hosted by our producer, our board producer, Brent. And it is called, let me see it, Event Horizon. Did I get that right? It's Event Horizon, ladies and gentlemen. That's a cool name, too, by the way. I like that. So check him out doing his thing, and I'm sure it won't be long before he masters quite the audience as well. So in the meantime, go out and make it a great week. Be safe, be careful out there. Weather's going to be lovely. If you're going out of town to enjoy some spring break activities, please be careful. Lord says so. We will be back here next Monday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. Central Time. Try to do it all over again just a little bit better. So for all of us here, for lovely Lola, come on, Lola, you got to do your little exit before we get out of here. There she is. And for Bryn, and there she is. And for me, your host, your humble host, Chip, for all of us, thank you. We appreciate you. And we are out. See ya.